daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Southampton, part of the Global Sports Podcast Network. My name is Greg Elliott, and as always today, joined by my good friend and wonderful co-host, Zach Finch. How do you, mate? You right?
Yeah, mate, I'm all right. We're actually back to a semblance of normality now, right? Like, you know, there's going to be some football. I say normality, it's against a Nathan Jones team, so maybe it's going to be a really big outlier, who knows? But either way,
Something bonkers
championship
is going to happen. That's it, mate. And now we're here to build to what everyone has been waiting for in this long break. We are here to preview Wicked for Good. No, wrong podcast. There's football. It's back.
Well, you're alluding to the fact that you're going to miss some of tomorrow's game, mate. Just a little bit, because you've unfortunately got prior plans.
That's it. But you know, it's look, it's going to be magical either way. Let's put it that way. But yes, look, it's been a long international break. It certainly felt that way, and we got some sort of glimpse of excitement with Scotland the other night. But it's nice to have proper football back to look forward to. And I mean, like you say, it's going to be at least a little bit insane when Nathan Jones is involved. Do you see that being quite a big factor into the atmosphere tomorrow, or do you think it's just going to be like football-y because everyone's so glad to actually have football back?
Are you telling me that a bunch of our fans are going to go all the way to watch Charlton play with Nathan Jones in charge, and there is not going to be an atmosphere there? Like, he's already come out, because obviously we've not had a press conference yet, because of course we haven't. And the fact that he's like, yeah, you know, I don't want I have those experiences too many times, but I learned from that experience. I'm a better man and a better person for it. I'm really glad that the downfall of Southampton Football Club can help this poor Welshman learn to be a better person. So yeah, no, Greg, I think that it will probably be a bit fire.
He could have just gone off and married a Welsh PE teacher, couldn't he? So you know, it's nice that he's growing and learning from that and taking it on board, I guess. But it's an interesting one, right? Because you know, coming into the season, you would have expected almost our positions to be completely flipped to where they are at the moment. Charlton, I guess, beating everyone's expectations, definitely mine, heading into it and holding their own. But are we coming good? With 2 wins on the bounce now, we're going to back that up into 3. It's hard to say.
I'd like to hope so, but I know that it's been a really hard place. They've barely lost a game since he's been in charge at home. So it's not going to be an easy away game. We can't just go into it assuming, we'll just absolutely smash them because it's Charlton, right? Because I think I labour this point constantly, but like, we should be beating XYZ teams and we're not, right? We should have beaten QPR and we did, but you know, we should have beaten Sheffield Wednesday and we did, but like there are games that we have had where we should have beaten that opponent and haven't, and this is 100% one of them. And then you're going to have the fact that they really back Nathan Jones and like he's their guy, and like the fans' guy will get behind the level of animosity we will have for him, and hopefully like they can just step away from what will be an occasion to just put in a good performance, especially after quite a solid international break for some of them, right? Like, you know, the Republic of Ireland boys, like they're going to come back in pretty jubilant. You know, I know that Finn has picked up some criticism for his performances, but like hopefully they can just brush all that away. Will we see the debut of Romeo, even if it's a little bit? Maybe. Surely he's not just going to be here to never come on the pitch. I don't know.
I hope. I mean, in all of the back to training videos and all of the, you know, the socials and stuff they've put out, he's been training with the team, and in there you would like to think at this point he'll be ready. He looked in remarkably good shape, right, to come back. I know that he hasn't played football in a long time, but he's a man of a certain amount of drive who, you know, he's going to keep himself fit enough to do it.
Didn't become a free agent and just like give it up, right? And decide that he's going to pundit on Sky Sports and just not bother keeping himself fit. Like he's kept himself in good enough if this opportunity arises. So yeah, it's going to be match fitness. Sure, it's not going to be the 90 minutes, but if there was a good enough game as any, it'd be this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is like one exciting thing that could happen right as soon as the teams are announced, right? To see that is an instant boost, I think. And yeah, looking at the form, you're right. Charlton haven't lost at home since August. They were beat by Leicester at the Valley in a 12:30 kickoff, so maybe that bodes well. But other than that, their home form is pretty impeccable. It makes for some scary reading. It's going to be a tough place to go. It's going to be a proper test of whether the Tonda really has sort of managed to get that bit extra out of the players, and they can push on and get through that difficulty.
Well, this is the other question, right? Is this what we are? Is this the 3-match period? Is it actually a job interview? Are they just struggling? Because apparently they've interviewed candidates, and it's not really. They've just not had anyone stand out yet. But so it'd be interesting to know who's actually been interviewed. Because surely, if it's Russell Martin, it's like, do you want your job back? Maybe. Okay, put down the phone. So if everyone else, it's like, who else you interviewed? Okay, so the Michael Carrick, Brendan Rodgers, supposedly, and any other target they've picked. Will Stills had an interview with Norwich before, obviously they went with Clement. So yeah, it's for him. It's going to be important because he's going to have to prove that it's not just the sort of post manager bounce that we had. Right, it needs to be more than and also to be able to get another win on top of the other ones. But I don't think that even if he won 3 games on the bounce, that people will be happy. As in, like, if he won these next 3 games and we won 5 in a row, I'm still sure that people would prefer someone with championship experience, which would be kind of bizarre at that point.
Oh, I don't know, mate. Recency bias definitely comes into it and plays into it. And you have to remember that if he does win tomorrow, he becomes, the second most successful manager since Sports Republic took over. So that in itself speaks volumes as to sort of where we're at. But yeah, it's not an easy place to go and play football. That's sort of Charlton's MO, right? They specifically make it difficult for you and look to unsettle you and are hard to break down. And, it's not like they batter teams at home, but they, make it hard and difficult to play the football you want to play and then try and steal that goal. And really, it's exactly the sort of team that we have been vulnerable to time and time again this season. It is a scary prospect. But right, let's move into the tricky bit, the predicted team lineups. But let's take a break and hear a message from our partners at Bioniq.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN 2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
All right, mate. So let's get into it. Start with the tricky questions. Baz or McCarthy?
Baz, isn't it? Went away with international duty, would have been surrounded by happy winning. People don't like the fact that he's got a mistake or 2 in him, as if McCarthy doesn't have a mistake or 2 in him either. Pretty sure me and you joked about the fact that we watched a compilation after Bazunu came back in. Ultimately the problem is that neither of our goalkeepers are what we would refer to as safe hands, so we need to pick the one that seems to be the most up for it, and Eckhart seems to like him more, especially where he's played him in the under-21s before, probably has more trust in him. So yeah, I don't really think it's much of a decision. I don't think it's a hard decision, personally.
Okay. No, I agree with that. I think of the two, I think Baz maybe inspires more confidence than McCarthy. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's kind of one where there's like not really a right and not really a wrong answer, right? It's very difficult. And do you think we'll see much change shape-wise, or do you think we'll still end up with a 5 at the back or 3 at the back with 2 wing-back solution?
Again, tough place to go. They want to make sure that we're a bit more defensively sound. I don't think that he wants to change up too much. We've been playing a back 3-5 sort of for so long at this point that I don't think it's probably going to be the time that they want to change things about, right? Like maybe if we lose this game, we lose this in a manner that's silly, potentially, but I don't necessarily think that they're going to change shape, so I still think it's going to be 3 defenders at the back.
No, I think so too, especially as what we saw before the international break was that formation, but with just a bit more freedom for one of these centre-backs to push up and sort of drag the play and try and like drag the other team out of shape and fight it that way. So I suspect we'll see the same. Who's the back 3 for you? Stevens presumably stays in.
Yeah, I guess like if if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's not like we've not managed to keep it. We didn't manage to keep a clean sheet, but still, Wood's really good. Stevens really good. Harwood Bellis has done better and also assisted last game as well, which is important to think about. Exactly what you're talking about, where the centre back's going up a bit more forward. I will point out, however,
Armstrong as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I will point out that Kwashi has played 2 under-21 international games during this international break. So both of those games, Germany won. So if you want to pick somebody based off of the fact that their morale is going to be high, he could potentially slot in for somebody. But I don't really know who he dislodges. Really, again, I know everyone's kind of over the whole Wood getting mad at fans thing now that we've actually won a few games, and Stevens, it would be if dependent on if he's fit or not. So yeah, it's more competitive than it was, put it that way, because realistically, I wouldn't have had Stevens or Harwood Bellis in either way. Kind of feel bad for Edwards to miss out a little bit, but it's what it is, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah. Wing backs, I mean, without the presser, it's hard to know where we're at with some of the knocks that we weren't sure of before the international break. So I guess Manning is in the picture, and maybe Roshlev, maybe Fellows.
Well, Roshlev wasn't away on international duty, from what I can tell. So I would just put Fellows back in there, right? Like it kind of sucks that we're in a position where, despite buying 2 right backs, neither of them can play. I don't know. Yeah, again, without the press conference, we don't know if Gillette is back, because he looked good for the Liverpool game, but there's already talk about us potentially cancelling his loan as early as January now. And that could be the fact that he's just not played enough or is too injury prone. So why would you? If Fellows was part of a winning team last time around, and helped set up a goal and stuff, why would you not just put him back in?
Yeah, I just don't
know. Allow the centre backs to do a bit more of the defensive coverage.
Yeah, it's kind of what we went with before the break, right? And I don't know, what does the midfield look like then? If we're bringing Romeu in to start, who's missing out?
Downs probably. He went off with a muscular injury. Halfway through, has been ill non-stop, and it would be the sort of, out of him and Yanda, would probably be the more physical presence. So I would put Romeu in and then probably swap him out at half time. I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden he decides to start like Williams or like Bragg or something like that, just kind of a little bit out there, a little bit saintsy. Again, we all thought that was a big risk to take Downs off and replace him with an academy player, but it worked out okay. Don't get me wrong, that second half wasn't really anything, but at the same time,
sometimes that's what you need in the game, right? Kill it dead.
Well, the fact that we got bored was nice, right?
yeah, indeed. Better bored than nervous. So yeah. So what we're thinking, like Romeu, Yanda, and like Cienza or
Cienza definitely involved. The problem is that how much trust you want to put in Azaz again. Like again, scored for Ireland, had a bit of a rough game, but will come in with confidence after scoring a goal. So do you want to put him back in and just give him another go, or do you want to put somebody else in? Again, like Robinson, Atsuki. What else do you want to? How do you want to mix it up?
I also don't know if it sort of is that number 10 role. I was looking at some of the lineups and the way they've shaped it on some of the websites, and it literally changes depending on on whether on Sky or whether you're on BBC or Flash.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's difficult to figure
They
out
put them as like
who's
wingers
where
instead of number 10s, but I guess
according
it's the forwards, right?
to. But then again, that's also like it's quite hard to draw out exact formations when they constantly change in and out of position anyway nowadays.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm not
so
really
fluid.
surprised.
So I
But
guess you're right. Who you sort of sticking up top with that? You stick in. I think Azaz, Armstrong, and Cienza are all in that sort of attacking role. It worked, right? If it ain't broke, like you've been saying. So give them at least the start and see how we get on. Fellows and Azaz were starting to link up beautifully. It just seems to maybe just getting all of those players on the pitch and just letting them, like you're saying, don't really draw out the formation on a map, but just stick the players on the pitch and play football. I mean, it's the sort of team we're going to need a bit of that against to get through and sort of break the duck, right?
yeah, I agree. And we need to just do what we can to win. And I don't really care who specifically is on the field. I don't think you should hugely change a winning formation. But again, if Downs went off half time due to illness, we haven't heard anything from then. It was something muscular. It would be a great game to just start Romeo in. So realistically, what we're looking at is pretty much unchanged, apart from the addition of Romeo, who will probably have to come off at half time for somebody. But I think everybody else there theoretically deserves a spot. And we'll have to see how Azaz goes. But if he does well in this game again, then the end of our criticism can start to take place.
Yeah, well, hopefully that goal. We talked a lot about confidence players. Sometimes it just takes that, right? It was an instinctive finish as well, right? It was a good goal. It wasn't like it was scored by accident. He got himself in the position, took the ball, and instinctively shot it and scored a good goal. And then immediately sort of became that precipice of the midfield and was doing all of the sort of link-ups and stuff that we would hope to see from him. So hopefully that's just given him the confidence. And then, like you say, being away on international duty, he's going to have done well as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, you're right. It's good. Let's not change it too much and see if we can, put together a team that can break down something that's a bit harder to do. Right, mate. Let's have a little break, have a word from our partners at Zencastr, and then come back to the fun bit and see if we can predict how we're going to get on. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform, and Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description and learn more about Zencastr. All right, mate. Look, I'm gonna throw it over to my little statistics website with its little AI blurb that I like to use and get their score prediction first for a change. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So the primary angle is under 3.5 goals with both teams to score, Charlton to win or a draw. So basically 1-1, right? 1-1 or 2-1 to Charlton is what they've gone with. That's that doesn't feel
old.
Look, historically, in the last 7 games between the two teams, there's been 1 Charlton win, 3 Saints wins, and 3 draws. So it's Charlton are in good form at home, and Southampton's form is now average, which is, I think, the highest that the AI has ever given any piece of form, home or away, since we've been reading it, which is maybe an indictment in itself, right?
As we discussed in our Mythbusters episode, mate, it's almost impossible to use the statistics because of how much last season has just absolutely decimated them. So,
But with that out of the way, I am going to throw it over to you, mate. How do you think it's going to play out?
1-0, Romeo scores, everyone goes wild, and then we spend the rest of the game just throwing ourselves trying to defend it, and it's absolutely awful, and we hate watching it. and it's terrible. But then we managed to get it over the line and upset Nathan Jones a little bit, upset the Charlton supporters. We'll act like it's the best win ever. Everyone will complain. Because what I can't deal with is the fact that if they win, Greg, you're going to have to deal with Nathan Jones like crying on the sidelines when Hasenhüttl beat Liverpool because of the fact he managed to beat his former team. Because like he's already mugged us off for having like the biggest budget in the Championship and being like, oh, it's meteoric comparison to us and this blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but also if our owners then don't reinvest like more than 90% of it, as we found out with the transfer portion of your Mythbusters episode yesterday.
Yeah,
it's not as important as they think, because if you've bought a bunch of players that then don't gel well together as well, that's a problem. Whereas they've got this kind of camaraderie going. But yeah, I could also see a narrative where Romeu comes back and as a hero, puts an end to the Robotnik that is Nathan Jones. And causes a massive win that would bring joy to us all as we start to descend rapidly into this Christmas period, mate. So there you go. That's 1-0.
A win and a clean sheet. I love to hear it. This is great. Yeah. I mean, still the negative thought of an uncomfortable game in there, but I'm still taking it. I'm still enjoying it, mate. It's nice. All right. Well, I don't know. I think I've got a head and a heart answer, Zach, for an unusual change. My heart's saying 2-1 win because I still just don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet, but I do see us getting it over the line. But my head just feels like that 1-1 draw, it would be like the most Saints thing, just like all of that excitement, and it wouldn't do us any favours. I guess it would be a good result for Charlton, but also it's not like it's still just a draw, isn't it? Who cares about that?
Me predicting a win and you predicting a draw is like upsetting the balance of the universe somewhere, mate. This isn't okay. You're not allowed to be more negative than me. This is ridiculous.
But I don't know. But no, I think the 2-1. I think that's what we've got to go with, right? There's got to be an Armstrong goal in there, and obviously you got to predict a Tom Fellows goal for tradition's sake. Like he's got to score at some point, right?
You keep saying that, mate, and every game he keeps proving you that he can be there without scoring. So
yeah. Well, it's going to come eventually. So and when it does, it's going to be that one that's remembered, and not the rest that come with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be it's going to be a fascinating game. To be honest, I'm just excited to have it back. It's just nice to be back watching the football. As you know, I've got a nice long away trip in the morning for my son's under 18, so it's going to be nice to get back and sit down, undoubtedly, just as the whistle goes, is I think how that's going to end up playing out. So we shall see. But look, that's it. That's all we've got time for today. Zach, as always, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Let us know in the comments on the socials how you think we're going to get on and your score predictions. We're on all of them. We are on X, TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Hit us up. Let us know. We love hearing from you. And yeah, but regardless of what happens, whether it's good or whether it's bad, we will be back to talk about it next week. So until then, everyone, have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you then. Come on, Saints.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.